But it's scientifically proven as well that meditation does change our stress level and decreases cortisol and increases many beneficiary neurotransmitters.
Namaste, Daaji. What a pleasure to see you again after so long. The new strain, there is this thing that perhaps the vaccine does not work against the new strain, and that's the first thought I had, Daji. That can meditation can it actually boost your immunity? Because that's the best defense against a disease like this.
Meditation does two things, rather, many things it can accomplish. Fundamentally, meditation dissolves any sort of stress. And stress is the single most cause of releasing cortisol hormone into our bloodstream. And it is this blood level increase in cortisol that increases all the inflammatory processes. And because of his increased inflammatory processes, you become vulnerable, say, to various kinds of diseases, not just becoming vulnerable to viruses and bacteria, but it promotes also asthma. It also it opens many chances of having, for example, high blood pressure, heart attacks, and mentally, stress leads to anxiety. Anxiety leads to loneliness. Loneliness to depression, and the whole chain reaction. So, to me, a mental health where you can be distressed and you can remain in a joyful, cheerful situation, then certain beneficiary neurotransmitters that mind enjoys,
Hmm.
then your blood flow is better, your defense system, especially immunity, also uh, improves quite a lot. And I'm not saying because I'm promoting spirituality, meditation, but it's scientifically proven as well that meditation does change our stress level and decreases cortisol and increases many beneficiary neurotransmitters.
The biggest challenge that humanity has faced, so many individuals are facing, so many businesses have been destroyed, so many livelihoods have been destroyed. How does one make the best of this year, of a very challenging year?
So, if we have to evolve through these times, I think we have to cooperate with the professional advices we get time and again, how to vaccinate ourselves, which is the best company, which is the best form of vaccine for all of us. I mean, we don't have all the knowledge, but we have to depend on professionals to guide us what sort of a vaccine we should be having. See?
Hmm.
Is it a single dose, a double dose? And so they can decide the best, and we just follow them. See?
Hmm.
So, listening and cooperating with the professionals, I think, is the key.
Especially if you see one of the bizarre things of this disease, Daji, is that the richer countries seem to be suffering a lot worse. Europe, US, they have far worse death rates, far worse infection rates as compared to the poorer countries. It's one of the strange things of this disease.
Those countries where they had been using BCG vaccines,
Hmm. Hmm.
India,
I like
certain
it.
part of Africa,
Hmm.
I think it seems to have protected
Hmm.
to a large extent.
Hmm.
So many things you can say: melatonin intake, zinc intake, vitamin D intake, expose yourself to sun, many vitamins, antioxidants, vitamin C, fresh juices, lot of fruits and vegetables. I think that keeps us going. Also, a barrier, creating a barrier.
Hmm.
You must have remembered from your childhood, perhaps your parents or your grandparents may have told you during winter times that put one or two drops of सरसों का oil, नाक में
Yeah.
लगाओ एक दो drops. So what happens?
नाक
Anything
में
that gets in, huh?
I used to be told नाक में डालिए और कान में डालिए.
अच्छा, चलेगा दोनों में चलेगा because it produces heat. And
हाँ,
not only that, what it does, it creates a barrier. You heard about this neti. Neti, there's a bottle.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
Uh,
हाँ.
and then when you take the water from one nostril,
And
enter
then
it
put it
from
out
one
from, yeah,
nostril.
yeah, हाँ.
Yeah.
Jalneti.
So whatever is alive on this layer captured by this oil,
Hmm,
now you're able to take it out.
correct.
So I think you are increasing your defense system at this level almost 90 to 95%, if not 100%. And rest also, I found in my reading that, let us see, you are simply walking in a park, and a person who was jogging had a COVID and he sneezed.
Hmm,
And after 2 minutes, you are passing through, or after half hour, you are passing through the same area, and you seem to inhale some of the droplets. That's going to give you some impacts. You will have some symptoms. Now, these symptoms can also depend on how many droplets you inhaled. Was it a large dose or a little dose? So all these reactions depend on your intake of that droplets. So now, how to protect ourselves? You don't know who ran on this path and you are walking. So best mask it, put mustard oil, and to be on the safer side, moment you come inside home, do this neti, irrigate your nostrils and get rid of this whatever may be there, and you are strengthening yourself immunity wise through all these medicine. Supplements. We use Giloy. You can make Giloy tea, or just take 1 inch or 2 inch of that Giloy. I think they seem to help build our immunity. I'm concerned. I offer this meditation with all lot of enthusiasm, and nothing makes me happier than offering these learnings of meditation, how to meditate. My only concern is, and my caution, that will one time meditation that I do change my life, or
hmm,
once a week, or once a month?
hmm,
No. It has to be consistent to create epigenetic changes in our body, in our mind. One has to have this consistent efforts, even if it is for 10 minutes a
hmm,
day. hmm, It is better than doing it once a year for 2 hours.
hmm,
So I recommend those who are really, really interested in meditation. See, meditation is not only for esoteric things like God realization or liberation or arriving at super knowledge or touching your super consciousness. But as we discussed, it is also about de-stressing yourself, freeing yourself from fears, anxieties, and increasing other mental levels, focus levels, making you clearer with your understanding of many things. Meditation is a magical thing, actually, and I highly recommend that everyone should do it. But only caution is, please do it regularly. See, otherwise it won't help you. Moreover, you get used to not doing it, and that's a biggest disadvantage.